4th day of this FDP. On the very first day, Dr. Sameer Dubey sir had explained about how to punch data into SPSS. Second day, a descriptive analysis along with normality of data was done. Third day, parametric test was explained. So I hope you all are aware about these things, and the step-by-step journey is helping you in your research journey. I believe that. And if you have any problem, then you may ask. Otherwise, I'll start my session.
You can proceed, ma'am.
Ma'am, please.
So, I'm assuming you all are aware about data type, the number of variables in the hypothesis which we are dealing with, and the nature of study which we are conducting. All these help us in choosing the appropriate test. Okay? So today I'll explain something else. What is univariate data, bivariate data, and multivariate data. Talking about number of variables in the hypothesis. You all are aware that there are two types of hypothesis mainly, alternative and null hypothesis. Right? That there are two types of hypothesis, alternative and null hypothesis.
Yes, sir.
So if we are dealing with a single variable, if we will deal with the single variable, then it will be called as univariate data. Okay. Clear? If we are talking about a single variable. Now, if we talk about single variable, that means single variable. How can we describe univariate data? Either there are two ways, in the form of descriptive analysis. That means we are going to describe data, right? Second is inferential statistic. Okay. If it is descriptive analysis, that means we are going to describe data based on measurement of scale. If it is nominal scale, if it is nominal scale, we are going to describe the data, then which is the best tool? How can we describe nominal scale data? Can you, do you have any idea? Hello.
Frequency.
Percentage analysis is common for all. Apart from this, we can use mode. Okay?
Okay.
If we talk about ordinal scale data, then which is the best way to describe data?
Median.
Median and mode as well, because we are talking about ordinal scale. If we talk about interval scale, ratio or anything, interval,
Mean.
then which is the
Mean.
mean, median, mode? All. but the best way is mean. Okay. Now, we are simply describing the data, but with the help of inferential statistic, we come up to the conclusion based on the test. So there are two types of hypothesis. We know that null and alternative. But how to form this hypothesis? Either we compare mean or either we make association, right? So since we are dealing with single variable, so here we form only hypothesis of differences. Okay. Now, if we are dealing with parametric test, then which is the best tool? Here we are talking about only single variable. Since we are talking about single variable, so it will be showing only, we are comparing the mean. Comparing the mean, that means under inferential statistic, hypothesis of difference will be formed. If it is parametric test, that means we are comparing mean. So which test is suitable? That means here we are comparing mean, that means population mean.
Maybe your mic is off. Your mic is off, man.
योगराज सर, जब आप म्यूट करें ना तो मेरे को वो कर दीजिएगा. आप म्यूट ऑल कर देते हो ना तो मैं भी म्यूट हो जाती हूँ.
तो एक योगी के रूप में, एक सन्यासी के रूप में, जीवन हमारा तीन क्षेत्र था.
कहाँ तक हो गया था अपना?
I mean, parametric test we
apply t-test, right? Since we have only single variable, that means hypothesis of association will not be formed. Only hypothesis of difference will form. But there are two ways. Under parametric, we will use t-test, and under non-parametric, which test is to be used? Any idea?
chi-square test.
Chi-square.
Okay. Talking about bivariate data.
ANOVA.
No, just a minute. Can I clear this? If you allow me. Can
we also deal with some examples?
Yes.
Can we go
After
on
this,
with some examples?
After this,
Yeah.
I'll show you demo.
Okay.
If we talk about bivariate data means we are dealing with two variables, right? Since here we are talking about bivariate data, that means there are two variables, not a single variable. So how to represent this bivariate data? Two type of hypothesis will be there. Hypothesis of difference and hypothesis of association. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
If we talk about hypothesis of difference, in case of parametric test, okay. So either the samples will be independent. Sample are independent. If sample are independent, which test is to be used?
T-test.
Independent t-test.
Independent t-test.
Independent t-test. If samples are paired, then
Pair t-test.
Pair t-test.
but the condition is under parametric test, the data should be interval, right? Now, if we talk about bivariate data under, if we talk about hypothesis of association under bivariate data, again, here we are talking about non-parametric test. Achha, one more thing I had not explained. Under hypothesis of difference, there are parametric tests as well as non-parametric tests, right? So, equivalent to independent test. Which test is to be applied here?
Mann-Whitney.
Mann-Whitney. Equivalent to paired t-test. Which test is to be applied under non-parametric test?
खुशहाल वाले Paris.
Wilcoxon. Signed rank test. Okay. Wilcoxon signed rank test. Is this clear? Hypothesis of difference is clear?
Ma'am, could you explain this again? Wilcoxon, when do we use it?
I'll explain this, but just let me explain this chart. Under parametric test, we have two tests, independent and paired, but the data should be interval. If we talk about hypothesis of difference, if you are using this non-parametric test, if data is not interval, if data is, I mean the scale is ordinal or nominal, right? What was the condition of independent test? Can anybody explain? Just opposite to that, we will apply this Mann-Whitney test. What is the condition of Mann-Whitney independent test? The
Both
dependent variable.
Both the variables are independent to each other. There is no any dependency.
And the data is, the dependent variable should be interval.
Interval
And
of
independent variable should be categorical, right?
Yes.
Here the condition is, the dependent variable should be ordinal. Okay, here the condition is, dependent variable should be ordinal and independent is categorical, nominal. Clear? What was the condition of pair t-test?
Ma'am, can you just throw an example on this so that it would be clear? Sorry
Just
to
give me 2 minutes. Just let me finish this chart, then I'll take the demo of all these things. Pair t-test means interval scale. Before and after. It is a case of before and after. Pre and post. Paired means knowledge is given. Test is given. Test is taken before imparting knowledge. Test is given by the students after imparting knowledge, right? So that means we collected data in the form of interval scale in case of pair t-test. If I collect data before and after in the form of ordinal scale, we are not using interval scale, we are using ordinal scale, then in that case we will be using non-parametric test. Under non-parametric test, we will be using Wilcoxon sign test. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I rub this part? Hypothesis difference, because I have to explain this also, hypothesis of association. If you allow me. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You can.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if we talk about hypothesis of association, again, we are talking about parametric and non-parametric test. If it is parametric test, matlab there are two variables, since it is a part of their bivariate data. If it is parametric, then if it shows the relation between the variable, if it is showing relationship between the variable, which test is to be applied? Correlation, right? We will do tomorrow this correlation. Here, condition is data should be scale. If we talk about causal relationship, then
Regression will be regression.
Figure.
linear regression. Okay. But the condition is here, since we are talking about parametric, the condition is the data is interval. If we want to apply non-parametric, if it is showing the relationship between the variable, that means it is not under interval scale. Ordinal scale is given. Then which is the best tool to apply?
Run test.
Crustal values.
Here we are talking about association or relationship,
Okay.
non-parametric. Chi-square association. Best.
Okay.
If it is showing causal relationship, Spearman ranking. Okay? Under ordinal data. Yeah? Now, one by one, we will do this test. Before that, can anybody tell me what is parametric test? Dr. Samir Dubey sir had explained nicely yesterday. Any idea about parametric test? In continuation to that, we will be doing non-parametric test today. So, can you give an example of parametric, or can you explain what is parametric test? Parametric test क्या बता रहा है?
The population is normally distributed.
Yes. मतलब 3 condition needs to be fulfilled for parametric test. Parametric test is explaining the mean. It focuses on mean differences. It is focusing on comparing the means, right? The data should be normal. And another thing is, third thing is, it should be measured on interval scale, right? So non-parametric test, just opposite to parametric test. Here also 3 conditions is to be applied. If data is not normal, after applying log 10 or square root, then we can go for non-parametric test. It is also called distribution free test. Okay? It focuses on median differences. Parametric test focuses on mean differences. Non-parametric test focuses on median differences. And here it is applied on the data of ordinal scale or nominal scale. It does not consider interval scale. Clear? I hope the difference between parametric and non-parametric test is clear. Now, what are the advantages of non-parametric test over parametric test? If you want to apply parametric test, you need large sample size. It can be applied, non-parametric test can be applied on small sample size. And there is no need to convert data into normal data. Okay? The condition of normality should not be followed here. Even if there are outliers, even if the data is not normal, we can apply this non-parametric test. Clear? The assumptions of parametric test, if does not meet, then we will apply this non-parametric test. So let us do the demo of this. Here I'll be opening this data set. Do you know how to describe data? This is the data set. Here you can see gender in a nominal, in the nominal scale. Here you can see ethnic, okay, Chinese, Indian, and this one. Education status, KG, primary and secondary school. Okay. How will you describe data? If you talk about only single variable, single gender, so how can you describe this? Any idea about this? We had done this part. Analyze descriptive and frequency, right? Just transfer this gender over here, education level over here. Okay. Copy this, paste it over here. Copy this education level and paste it over here. Now, if I want to see whether is there any difference in observed or expected frequency, or if I want to know is there any difference in proportion of gender, is there any difference in proportion of male and female? I'm talking about single variable. That's why I will apply chi-square. Now, how to apply this chi-square test on the single variable? Go to analyze, non-parametric, and then chi-square, right? Just click on this gender, transfer this, and click on OK. How can you describe this? So, before describing this, what is the hypothesis? What will be the hypothesis you will formulate? Any idea about this?
No difference between the genders.
There is no difference between the proportion. There is no difference between the proportion of male and female. Or we can say there is no significant difference in observed and expected frequency. But out of 100, the observed frequency were 48. There were 48 males and 52 females. We were expected 50-50%. Okay. So what can we see? The p-value is 0.689. The p-value is 0.689. The hypothesis was
No
there is no
significant difference.
significant difference in proportion of male and female. So this hypothesis, can we retain this hypothesis or we can reject this hypothesis?
We'll retain it.
Yes. Here, so just put this p-value and chi-square over here. Just put this value over here. It is not required now, since it is repeated. This is also not required. So we will report this chi-square value. The chi-square value is 0.160. And we will report this p-value. Okay. That is 0.689. Since the p-value is greater than 5% level of significance, so we will retain this hypothesis. Here, single variable chi-square, I hope it is clear. This one. Hello. So we had done this chi-square portion. Clear is this? Is this clear to all? This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem in this? Shall I move?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be taking the same data set that was taken over by Sunny sir yesterday. One sample t-test, this one. These are the weights of the baby, 2.5, 3.5, 3.4, 2.8, right? These are the weights of the babies, of the 100 babies recorded over here. Acha. Since these are in scale data, right? It is not recorded in ordinal or nominal scale. So we have recorded in a continuous scale. This is a continuous scale. So we have just recorded. That means it is an interval scale. If this is an interval scale, and on this, can we apply this non-parametric test on this interval scale? Can we apply?
I think, ma'am, can we?
No.
Because the interval is
यूक्रेन से रोमानिया
interval is not.
There are
same.
two conditions of applying.
Last interval is not.
The
same.
first one is the data should be ordinal, it should be measured on ordinal or nominal scale. So since this is scale data, but if the condition of parametric test, assumptions of parametric test is not followed, then we can go for non-parametric test. Clear? So let us check the condition first. How to check the condition of normality? You all know very well. Analyze, explore. Under descriptive statistic, go to explore. Just transfer this weight of the baby over here in the dependent list. Go to plot, histogram and normality check, continue, and then OK. Descriptive, skewness. What is the value of skewness? Between 1 minus 1 to 1. Kurtosis is okay, it is also good, but the test of normality, talking about ES test, it should be greater than 5%, 0.05. That means the test of normality is not satisfied. Right? Clear? If it is not satisfied, then what we can do? We go for log 10.
Log 10.
Convert this data into normal. And I'm assuming the data is still not normal. I'm assuming after applying log 10 and all these things, data will not be normal. Still, the test of Kolmogorov and Simonoff will not be satisfied. I'm assuming this. So here I'll apply non-parametric test. How to apply this non-parametric and the scale data? Go to analyze, non-parametric. Can you see this one sample? Just click on this. Customize analysis. Can you see this? Customize analysis. Just click on this. Under field tab. By default, it appears over here. All these two interval scale data appears over here. By default, just transfer here. Our test field is only weight of baby, this scale data. Just transfer this only. And then go to setting, customize test, and if it is a single variable data, then we should know the hypothesized median. The hypothesized median is 2.5. We will write 2.5. Can anybody tell me what will be the hypothesis of this? We are testing the weight of the baby. And our hypothesized median is 2.5. I'm considering
No significant difference between test value and data.
Of the body weight of baby is not
Baby.
normal. You can say that. If it is less than 2.5, if it is equal to 2.5 or more than 2.5, we can say the body weight of baby is normal. So this is the test value 2.5. That means our hypothesis is the body weight of babies is not normal. Okay, so we are going to test this. Just click on run. It is giving the decision also. See, reject null hypothesis. A null hypothesis was, see, null hypothesis is also given in the question. The median of the weight of the baby equal to 2.5. Okay, equal to or more than, right? Hello. Our main hypothesis was that weight of the baby was not normal, right? In simple term, if I say. But the significance level says that the value is p-value is 0.0000, which is smaller than 0.05. So here we can say that the weight of the baby is normal. That's why we are rejecting that null hypothesis. Clear? Any problem in this? Chi-square single variable of non-parametric test.
Clear, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, let me remove this. That means we have completed this part, chi-square, single variable. Coming to bivariate data. Correlation and regression will be, this session will be delivered by Samir sir tomorrow, and I'll be taking this part, non-parametric. Talking about bivariate data. That means hypothesis of association. If we talk about hypothesis of association, the two variables are associated with each other. Under non-parametric test, we will be using chi-square association and Spearman ranking, right? If the scale is ordinal. So let me take first, I'll be taking t-test. What was the condition of pair t-test? What was the condition of pair t-test? Pair t-test means
Before and after we
pre-test and post-test.
post-test.
Right? So equivalent to pair t-test, we will be having Wilcox's signed rank test. Clear? It is non-parametric test, which is equivalent to pair t-test. Under pair t-test, we were assuming that we collect data in the form of interval scale. For example, your test will be taken after delivering the session and before delivering the session, right? So how much marks will you get? Out of 10, you will be getting 8, someone will get 6, someone will get 9. So this is interval scale ratio, before and after. Then we will apply this pair t-test. If ordinal scale data, if we measure these variables on ordinal scale, then we will apply this Wilcoxon signed rank test. Clear? Let us take one example of this. Here the example is given. I'll be taking another example to show the demo of this. I'm taking this one. Wilcoxon. Can you see the marks of English? It is given in this is. Can you see the marks of English? This one. Before imparting knowledge. Poor and good. Somebody says it was poor, somebody says it was good. Marks after imparting knowledge. Okay? Pre and post data is given in the question. Clear? What we will do? Just go to analyze. Acha, before that, what will be the hypothesis of this?
No significant difference in scores, pre and post.
The median scores.
Yeah.
Not
Median score.
we will take median scores. There will be no
Median
significant
scores.
difference in the median scores of marks. Okay? Before and after imparting knowledge. Just go to analyze. Go to non-parametric test. Can you see this related samples? This one. 2 related samples. Just click on this. Transfer this pre-English marks over here and then post-English marks over here. By default, it is marked on Wilcoxon. Just click on OK. How much is the sample data? How much is the sample data?
100.
100. Out of 100, 79 was tiles. Okay. Next is negative ranking is 0 and positive rank is 21. That means post is smaller than pre. This means post is smaller than P. That's why we are getting the 0. And here we are getting post is greater than P. That's why we will getting 21 as a positive. Mean rank. Can you find any difference? With the help of P value, we will check. Is there any difference? After imparting knowledge, is there any change in the level?
Yes.
We will reject that.
Reject null hypothesis.
Clear? This test is equivalent to pair t-test. If it is clear, then shall
Ma'am,
I?
can you show the path again?
Which one? Achha, okay.
Path,
Analyze.
yeah.
Non-parametric test. Go to legacy dialog. Under legacy dialog, just go to click on two related samples.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I'll be closing these tabs. Now, let us do one exercise. If I talk about this one. If one variable is there which is independent variable, the independent variable is categorical. This one, I'm talking about the second objective. If you talk about the second objective, suppose the second objective which we had framed is like that. The variable is independent. Another variable is also independent. Both are categorical. And we are showing the relationship between these. Which test is to be applied? I'm talking about this one.
T-test?
It is showing relationship between, not significant difference. T-test always show difference. The parametric test shows difference. Compare it all. It is used to compare the mean. But here I am talking about the relationship between the variable and the categorical.
Man Whitney?
No.
Crustal Wallis.
Both are categorical and we are talking about association. So, let us check from here. I'm giving you this.
Chi-square test.
Yes, this one. Chi-square association. Clear?
Yes.
This is the way to check. Now, coming to next test, which is equivalent to independent t-test. What was the condition of independent t-test? What was the condition of independent t-test?
Ma'am, independent variables are categorical and dependent
Independent
are of scale.
are in scale,
Scale.
right? So it is equivalent. This test, Mann-Whitney U-test, is equivalent to independent test, but the only difference is if the data is not normal, then we will apply this on parametric, on this independent sample t-test. If the data is not normally distributed, then we will apply this. Or if the independent variable are nominal and dependent variable are ordinal, then we will apply. Let us take one example. It is given here the example, whether attitude towards pay discrimination, where attitude are measured on this ordinal scale, differ based on gender. We would like to measure the attitude. We would like to measure attitude of based on gender. So gender is categorical. Attitude, what will we do for attitude? Ordinal. Okay, ordinal, on the basis of ordinal scale data, we collect information. We measure the attitude on ordinal scale. Okay, if it is one is ordinal and another independent variable is categorical, that means we will apply this Mann-Whitney U-test. Let us have one demo on this. This one. I hope it is clear. We don't have any problem. Now, let me explain the background. These are the banks. We want to check whether the customer are satisfied or not. And these customers are having bank account in private as well as public banks. Customers are having account in public as well as private bank. We want to measure whether these customers are satisfied or not. So it is measured on ordinal scale. Okay, this is ordinal scale data. Let me collect this. That means dependent variable is on ordinal scale and independent is on nominal scale. Clear? So it is, this test is just equivalent to independent t-test. What is the path? Just go to analyze. Non-parametric. Under non-parametric, can you see this? Independent samples, 2 independent samples. Can you see this? This one. Can you see this? Independent samples.
Yes, ma'am.
Just click on this. What is your test variable? You want to measure the satisfaction level of customers. Satisfaction level will be transferred under test variable and banks will be transferred under grouping variable. Now we have to define group. There are 2 types of bank, private and public. So we have to define this. Group 1 is, we have coded 1 and 2. We had coded for private banks, we had coded 1, and public banks, we had coded 2. Continue. By default, it is marked over here, Mann-Whitney U-test. Click on OK. Acha. Before that, what was the hypothesis of this? What will be the hypothesis of this? We are measuring the satisfaction level of customers, na? So what will be the hypothesis?
There is no difference between satisfaction level of customer of both the banks, private and public.
We can say that there is no significant median difference in satisfaction score of customers with respect to banks. Clear? So let us check. the result, the output is generated. There are two type of banks. Satisfaction level, we can see that out of 150, 79 are having bank account in private and 71 customer are having bank account in public banks. Can you see this? Just a minute. This one, mean rank. Is the mean rank close to each other?
No.
No, ma'am.
No. That means P value is automatically 0.008, which is lesser than 0.05. We can say that
Rejected.
null hypothesis is rejected because there is a significant median difference, right? From descriptive statistic, we came to know, and because also P value also stated the same thing. Clear?
Yes.
Can I close this window? Any problem? Shall I close this window?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Now, coming to the next test. After man-Whitney Q test, these are the same assumptions which I had explained. The dependent variable should be measured on ordinal continuous level. Independent variable should consist of categorical scale. There should be no relationship. And if data is not normally distributed, we can go for this non-parametric Whitney test. Wilcoxon Tech test we had already explained. Talking about Crustal test. This test is equivalent to one-way ANOVA. Okay? What was the condition of one-way ANOVA? The independent variable is
Categorical.
but not binary. Two or
Three.
more.
Yeah, 3 groups.
Three or more. Not two, 3 or more. And independent variable is categorical, 3 or more, and dependent variable should be measured in interval scale. What about Crustal? This test is similar to, equivalent to one-way ANOVA. Here the condition is the independent variable should be measured in categorical, 3 or more, and dependent variable will be in ordinal, right? Instead of interval, we'll be taking this ordinal or continuous. Okay? Let us have one example on this. Let me explain the background. These are 3 drugs given to the respondents. Drug A, drug B, and drug C. And these are the pain scores given in ordinal scale. Okay? 3 types of drugs are given. Out of 60 participants, there are 60 respondents. There are total 60 respondents. Out of 60 respondents, 20 respondents were given drug A, next 20 were given drug B, and next 20 were given drug C. Now, and the pain score is measured in ordinal scale. Clear? When we are having pain, so we go to acupuncture. So what will be the hypothesis? Can you frame this hypothesis?
No significant difference in pain score based on different types of drugs.
With respect to different drug treatments.
Drug treatments.
Okay, there are 3 levels, na? Categorical way. 1, 2, and 3. So this is ordinal. If it is given in 1 or 2 binary, then we will apply Mann-Whitney test. But since there are 3 categories, then we will apply this Crustal, which is equivalent to ANOVA. So what is the path? Just go to analyze, under analyze. Can you see this non-parametric test, legacy dialog, and then K independent samples. These are not related samples, no, these are independent samples. K independent samples. Just click on this. The test variable is which one? We are measuring the pain score.
Pain score.
On respondents with respect to 3 drug treatments. So what was the coding? 1, 2, 3. The defined range, minimum range is 1, maximum is 3. Continue. By default, it is marked over here, Crustal search test. Just click on OK. See, I told you there were 60 respondents, 20 were given drug A, 20 were given drug B, and this is drug C. Can you find which value is closer and which is not closer? And which drug is most effective?
A and B are closer.
C is better
Less
than
effective.
C.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are the pain score. The lesser the pain score, the more effective the drug will be. So that means drug C is more effective.
Yes. Yes.
So p value is smaller than 5% level of significance. That means we can reject the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis. If we are rejecting, what will be the hypothesis then? Alternative. What will we conclude?
A difference in pain score
Yes.
With respect to different drugs.
with respect to
I
3
hope there
different
is no
drugs.
problem. I hope there is no problem in this.
Yes.
So I'm closing this tab. Now, let us have one more question. Now, I'm talking about this one. Suppose there is an objective and we have framed one hypothesis for that. Objective was whatever will be the objective, but were variable. The independent variable is categorical 2 value and dependent variable is numeric. Numeric means scale.
Mann-Whitney.
If instead of numeric, I use ordinal, then I'll use that Mann-Whitney. But here it is continuous. Continuous means a scale. Numeric means a scale. Interval. Dependent variable is interval and independent is categorical 2 values. And they are showing the difference between the two. Which test is to be applied? If it was like instead of numeric, I'll write over here ordinal. Dependent variable was measured in ordinal scale and independent in categorical 2. Then in that case, Mann-Whitney test will be applied. Okay? But my question was, dependent variable is measured on numeric or interval scale. Okay? And independent has categorical 2 values. Which test is appropriate?
मैम वो क्रूशल वाला क्रूशल ही शायद से या क्रूशल.
Sorry?
There was a test that you have shown right now, that crucial something, na? That would be
No,
the test.
no. I'm talking about interval scale here. Scale. I'm talking about interval, not ordinal. That means it is related to parametric. Where it is written interval, that means it is related to parametric. Not non-parametric will not be applied. Wherever numeric or interval is
Test.
yes, independent t-test, right? That means it is a case of independent t-test because we are using this interval scale. In this, dependent variable is interval and independent variable is interval and independent variable is categorical two values. And we are showing the difference between the two. We are finding out the mean differences. So it is a case of parametric. Under parametric, we will be using independent t-test. Yeah? Last one. There is one more test. The chi-square which I showed you earlier, that is of single variable. That test was showing the goodness of fit. But under bivariate, when there is showing two variable relationship, so we will be using chi-square association. So chi-square association, chi-square test of association shows a relationship between the two categorical variables. Okay? So let us have a discussion on this. I will be opening the data set of chi-square association. Can you see this? Gender, under gender, we have coded male as 1 and female as 2. Okay. This is categorical. Okay, right? Nominal, I can say. This is the learning method. Whether male or female are learning through books or through online mode. Okay. Which mode of learning they prefer? Either they prefer to read from books or they prefer to read online. We are going to test this. And we are going to test this relationship. Since we are going to test this relationship under nominal data or ordinal data, if we want to test this relationship, then we will apply this chi-square association. Now, what will be the hypothesis for this? What will be the hypothesis for this?
No significant difference in learning based on two different modes, online and books.
Now, here we are talking about relationship, not difference. That's why I told you.
Association.
We are talking about hypothesis. There are two types of hypotheses that we can frame on the basis of difference and on the basis of association. So here we are talking about association with variables. So hypothesis will be framed accordingly. So there exists association between
No
gender
association.
and
Okay.
there. If I talk about alternative hypothesis, there is an association between alternative hypothesis. There is association between gender and learning methods. If I talk about null hypothesis, then the hypothesis will be like this. There exists no association between gender and their learning methods. Right?
Okay. Can we frame it this way also? Gender is independent of learning modes? Or we should use association word
We cannot
only?
say anything. You can assume anything.
Okay.
Under chi-square association, it is not like that. So you can assume gender as an independent variable. Where is the data set there? So we would like to find out the association between the two variables. Now, how to find out? We have to apply this chi-square association, not chi-square non-parametric. We are talking about chi-square association. So the path will be different one. Go to analyze. Go to descriptive. Under descriptive, you can see this cross tab. Just click on this. Either you should put gender in row or column. So generally, we put gender in row. Preferred learning medium in the column. No need to change anything in exact tab. Just click here, chi-square. Under statistic tab, just click on chi-square. Okay? Click on continue. Under cells, under this cells tab, click on row and column. Okay? If you want, you can click on total also. Just click on continue. No need to change anything from here. Format tab. No need to change anything in style tab. Nothing will be changed. Just click on OK. Now, can you describe this? Are you able to describe this? Out of 40 males, 16 prefer to read from books and 24 prefer to read online. Okay? That means 40% likes to read from book and 60% from online mode. Talking about female, 13 or 32%. 13 out of 40, 13 are females which like to prefer learning from books, and 27. In terms of percentage, it is 67.5%. They prefer to read online. Can you see some variation? If not, you can see this chi-square Pearson. Can you see this? What is it is saying? P-value, what P-value is saying? 40%, 32%, there is 50%, 67%. Not, no proper gap is there. Matlab, P-value is smaller than 5%. So we will retain that hypothesis. What was the hypothesis? There is no association. Right? Any problem in this analysis part? We have to check this Pearson chi-square value. The P-value is this one. P-value says that it is greater than 0.05. Since the P-value is greater than 0.05, then we are going to retain that null hypothesis. Clear? So, non-parametric test and which tool is best fitted for which type of variable or which type of data. So I have completed this part. So if you want to ask anything, any question from my part, it is completed. Chi-square is also done. Chi-square is done. Crustal, Wallace, Wilcoxon, and Manu-Whitney on parametric single variable is done. On my part, it is over. If you have any query, if you have any question, then you may please ask. Or else we will meet tomorrow Tomorrow will be the session of Kami sir, who will be taking correlation and regression.
Hello.
I'll be taking EFA. We both will be taking EFA.
Ma'am, I have one question. Can I ask?
Just a minute.
Hello.
Yes.
Is there any limit of sample whenever we are applying non-parametric?
Your voice is not audible. Ma'am, can you please repeat? Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can you provide some data sheets for practicing this?
Yes, today. I'll provide.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I've written my question. Is there any limit of sample size whenever we are applying non-parametric test? Sample size limit?
There is a sample size calculator. You can search online this way, sample size calculator. Just put population over there, 5% level of significance, you will get the result.
Okay, thank you.
Is there more queries?
What was the result of last slide? Last slide? I'd explained that the chi-square association. So p-value was greater than 0.05. Were you talking about the learning method and gender, which I had explained? The null hypothesis found was there was no association between gender and learning methods. So the p-value was greater than 0.05. So we can conclude that null hypothesis is accepted. Clear? Okay. I hope, Sakshi ma'am, you got the answer. Any query?
Ma'am, would you provide any text or PPT? Actually, we need to recall or revise it, that which test is used in which condition. So, would you be providing some
Also, you have
material
this
for that?
YouTube channel. You can access this YouTube channel. And today, we will provide data sets and we will incorporate that EPPT of first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth sessions. We are trying to give PPT in this way, not session wise. We are planning to incorporate all the things at one place. So that's why it is taking time.
Thank you, ma'am. Your session was really great. Actually
Thank you.
knowledgeable. Thank you.
Thank you. So tomorrow we will meet with, yes. Lokesh sir, data sheets will be provided today. We will try our best to provide you before 9 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, how these data sheets will be shared with us?
In the Excel form. Just try to put this Excel data into SPSS. Will it be okay for you?
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, on the WhatsApp group or through the mail?
Through WhatsApp group.
All right.
Because I don't have mail IDs of yours. So you can do one thing. I can do. I'll share on this group.
Yes, sir. We'll have it on
our formed by RFI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, ma'am, there was a problem. We were not able to download the SPSS. I told this problem.
If you had already downloaded now, the trial version, if you had already downloaded,
yes,
then it will create some problem. If you had already downloaded in this year,
Okay. Perhaps it could be so.
So have you tried to download it? Had you tried to download?
Maybe
this
I may have done that.
Okay, that's why it is creating problem. Might be if you can use your different email ID. Try with different
Ma'am.
email ID.
All right. I'll try that.
Yes.
Ma'am, Pooja here. Ma'am, is only SPSS the tool where we can do all the statistical analysis? Is there any
Because
other tool which is
there
freely
are many tools.
available?
You can do it on Excel.
Yeah.
But it is more convenient to do it on SPSS. For EFA, it is better. But if you go for CFA and other versions, even you can use R also for this. And if you don't want to use this SPSS for this descriptive data or t-test or chi-square test, you can use R.
Ma'am, how about the tabular software, the Tableau software? Is that okay for this also?
Tabular software? Tableau? Are you talking about Tableau?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Tableau,
It
can
is
do,
for
but most of the
visualization.
things, yes. But if you want to go for other software, if you want to do not want to show this statistical part in SPSS, then you can use R. But this is programming. This is based on the programming. So you have to learn that how to run that. And however, there are many softwares available. There is SAS, there is MOS, PLSM. Advanced softwares are also there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Even
Thank
you
you for
can
the
use
advice.
past.
Sorry, ma'am.
Priyanka ma'am, even you can use past also. Past is one of the software where we can use all these tests.
Ma'am, from where we can download the SPSS?
If you have not downloaded, then you can just click on the link which was provided by Sameer sir on the group.
Ma'am, मैंने late join करा था, so can you share this link again?
Share the link in the chat
Yes.
box.
Thank you.
Just copy.
Priyanka ji, if it is possible for you to share your mail ID, we would be great. Because
it is mentioned over here.
Sorry, where?
It is mentioned. Just a minute.
Sorry, we didn't see this introductional part. We were at the.
I hope I'm capable enough to answer your questions. So if you have any more query, then we can have discussion. Otherwise, can we wind up the class? Thank you. Thank you to all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
the session is over. So we are going to wind up. We will meet tomorrow and in the coming sessions. Thank you. Yogaraj sir?